Since childhood, Xiaoshui from next door had her legs fused together, spending all year swimming in the water, looking just like a mermaid. Many men in the village lusted after her body, craving to tear her apart and taste what a mermaid was like. That night, Xiaoshui screamed in agony until dawn. The next morning, people found her lying dead on a pile of straw in front of her house. Her legs were drenched in blood, her upper body bare. The strange thing was, from that part of her body, not only blood flowed, but countless small black snakes crawled out, writhing and swimming all over her corpse. When the fortune-teller, Master Shi, saw the scene, his face turned deathly pale. Retribution. The mermaid died unjustly, and the snakes have become her children's guardians. Such a fate appears only once in 100 years. Tonight, the murderous aura will soar to the heavens. I fear this whole village will be buried with her. As expected, the very next day, death struck the village. The first victim was Ben, my brother's childhood friend. He was tall, strong, and worked as a mason in the village. At the time of the accident, he was building a new house. One moment he was warning his co-workers to be careful, the next, he slipped and fell straight from the scaffolding. Tragically, a steel rod was standing upright below, and his body was skewered clean through. The whole village panicked. My brother was so terrified he collapsed to the ground, wetting his pants, clutching my mother's hand and babbling that he would be the next to die. My mother, shrewd as ever, sensed something hidden behind all this. She quickly dragged my brother inside, locked the door, and wouldn't let me eavesdrop. The two of them whispered for a long time. When my mother finally stepped out, her face was ashen. She didn't even glance at me, but rushed to invite Master Shi over. The two locked themselves in the room again. I pressed my ear against the wall but couldn't hear clearly, only faintly catching Master Shi muttering again and again. Sin upon sin, such sin. Through the window, I saw my brother curled up on the bed, trembling under the blanket as if his soul had already left his body. Suddenly, the door burst open. Master Shi roared. At this point, the only way to survive is for Long to kneel before the spirit. If not, he won't live through the night. No. I'd rather die than go, my brother cried, clinging to my mother and refusing to leave the bed. Master Shi grew furious, cursing. If you don't go, the entire village will suffer the punishment. My mother's face turned pale as she hurriedly asked. If Long goes, will he be spared? Master Shi snorted coldly and barked. He committed a crime against heaven itself. Do you think he can still live? Not being torn apart into 8 pieces would already be mercy. Ah. Hearing this, my mother collapsed to her knees before Master Shi, begging desperately, swearing on kinship and pleading with her life. She vowed that if he didn't help, she would rather die on the spot. Master Shi sighed heavily and said there was only one way left, someone had to wear Long's clothes and go in his place. But the one who went would face certain death, who would ever agree to such a thing? Yet the moment he said that, my mother turned to me and, with a cold voice, declared. Let who go? Let him take Long's place. The words had barely left her mouth when my brother sprang from the bed as if revived, pointing at me with wide eyes. You go. You must go for me. I'm your elder brother. Old Mantran had 2 sons. One was Xiaolong. The other was Xiaohu. Everyone in the village knew well, Xiaolong was the precious beloved child, pampered since birth. Xiaohu, on the other hand, was treated like a stray picked up off the street, bullied and scorned all his life. Xiaohu, are you willing to take your brother's place? Master Shi looked at me, his voice tinged with pity. Fear gripped me. But before I could finish, my brother kicked me hard and shouted. What are you hesitating for? Do you want to see me die? My mother had already pulled out Long's clothes and threw them at me. Her voice was icy. As long as you help your brother pass this calamity, I will pay your school tuition next term. If not, forget about going to university. I had always feared the two of them. With no choice, I clenched my teeth and nodded. Soon, I was dressed in my brother's clothes, holding 3 sticks of incense, and walked towards Shashue's house. On the way, Master Sure patted my shoulder and whispered in my ear. "Whatever you do, never look into Shashue's eyes." I nodded weakly and stepped into the house. Inside stood a simple mourning hall. Xiaoxue had been an orphan, the villagers had put the hall together for her. Her body lay straight on a rotting wooden door. Because of Master Sure's warning, no one dared to watch over her spirit, not even hired helpers stayed. The mourning hall was eerily cold, as if the air itself was 2 degrees lower than outside. I forced myself forward, but my eyes instinctively drifted toward her. Master Sure had warned me not to look. But as soon as I raised my head, I saw them, her wide, hate-filled eyes, glaring, refusing to close even in death. For a fleeting second, I could swear she turned her head ever so slightly to look right at me. I almost collapsed in terror. The very next moment, I felt something cold and damp breathing down the back of my neck,